Hello and welcome to Soccerlens TV. I'm Andy Brassel. Now, plenty to look back on from the European weekend and to look forward to this midweek, and we have to start in the middle of Europe with Holland and Germany, and two title winners to be congratulated. Well, 1 3/4. The first being Twente, of course, in Enschede in the east of Holland, and congratulations to Steve McLaren and all his players. A tremendous achievement, the first title in the history of the club. They had their highest ever finish last year in second place and qualifying for the Champions League in McLaren's first season, and they've even bettered that this season despite Ajax being hot on their tails. Martin Jol's side with a tremendous end to the season, winning 14 league games in a row to finish the season off, scoring over 100 goals. Luis Suarez alone, the Uruguayan attacker, scoring 49 in all competitions, so a terrific season for him personally. But Jol's men have to be really congratulated on making it so close in the end. It looked like Twente were only going to be challenged by PSV. PSV fell away a little. They only lost 2 all season, but they drew quite a few. So Fred Rutten's side, a bit of improving to do for them. But you really have to hand it to McLaren and company, especially as one of those 14 Ajax wins was over Twente, 3-0 at the Amsterdam Arena a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and it looked as if that could be the point that Twente would fold, especially with their lack of experience in such situations, but there was none of it. They kept going, they recovered their composure really quickly and beat Ajax by a single point in the end. And I think you have to look at not just the fact that Twente have a lot of good players in their side who've had good seasons, the likes of Brian Ruiz, Miroslav Stoch, of course on loan from Chelsea. It'd be interesting to see what he does there next season if he does go back to Stamford Bridge, but also the real experience in the side, the likes of Blazen Kufo, who's Twente's record scorer of all time, Kenneth Perez, who's the Dane who's been around the likes of Ajax and PSV in the Eredivisie for quite a while, so a deserved title win for them. Bayern Munich at the 3/4, they have all but won the Bundesliga following their win over Bochum at the weekend, and Schalke second place. Schalke losing at home to Werder Bremen, and themselves have had a wonderful run to get themselves in 3rd place and secure a Champions League spot for the qualifying round. Really great achievement by Thomas Schaaf there in northern Germany. Of course, they've had to cope with the loss of Diego, their major playmaker, so great work from Werder Bremen. But Schalke have to be given credit for running Bayern pretty close, even though they did lose that game. Felix Magath was lured from Wolfsburg on a big salary and told he'd have loads of money to spend, only to get to Gelsenkirchen and find out that the money wasn't there, so he had to work with what he had. But sometimes that stability is the best way, and the likes of Ivan Rakitic and Kevin Kuranyi, who've been there for a while, have really stepped up to the plate this season. But really, this is all about Bayern, and we have to hand it to them. Unless they lose heavily and Schalke win by an absolute truckload next week, it does mean that Bayern Munich will lift the title, and I think they really deserve it. They're always under a lot of pressure, of course, and the appointment of Louis van Gaal, a lot of people, including myself, thought it might be a bit of a disaster, and it looked pretty bad in the first half of the season. They won that game at Juventus in the Champions League to turn it around, as we said last time. That really kick-started their league campaign as well as their Champions League campaign, and they've been pretty imperious since. Arjen Robben has been wonderful all season, showing just how good he can be once he's free of injury. The young players coming through, the likes of Diego Contento at left back, the likes of Thomas Müller, who scored a hat-trick against Bochum on Saturday as well. So really, they're all ticking all the boxes that make part of every great Bayern team, and they've still got the Cup final and the Champions League final to come, so that's great for them. Now, talking of the Champions League, a lot of exciting matches this midweek that are going to define who gets in the Champions League next season. Now, the biggest one of those has to be in England, between Manchester City and Tottenham. Manchester City really have to win to get the Champions League place back in their own hands. Tottenham, a draw would do them. They would still be in front, although a win would clinch it for them. And I feel this is really the way Harry Redknapp's side have to go for it. The best performances they've had this season, notably the home ones against Arsenal and Chelsea in the space of a few days, have been real gutsy attacking displays, and you know, this is where their best players can show their stuff. The likes of Jermaine Defoe, Luka Modric, Nico Kranjčar won't be fit unfortunately for them, but Gareth Bale's been absolutely tremendous on the left hand side, and they've got so many options up there with players who can change it on the bench, Crouch, Pavlyuchenko, who can come in. So really I feel they have to go to Eastlands to try and force the issue and not try and sit on the game, because this never really suits them. Now with City, qualifying for the Champions League is even more important. Spurs could just about ride it out, you could argue, if they didn't qualify for the Champions League. City have the money to, but if they want to attract the best players, which they do, if they want to achieve their ambitions in going on and winning the Premier League in the next couple of years, it's really Champions League qualification that's going to help them attract those top players. So far they're able to attract very good players at absolutely top prices, but not absolutely top players at absolutely top prices. So this is the moment where City could change the international perception of them and start getting into the real A-list of European football. Now, two teams who have been in the A-list of European football, especially this season, Lyon and Bordeaux in France. Now it looks like at least one of those are going to miss out on the Champions League. Now Lyon have recovered pretty quickly from their Champions League exit in the semi-finals to Bayern Munich. Really disappointing performance that looked as if it might deflate them, just as Bordeaux had been deflated by their exit from the Champions League. But no, Lyon came back really strongly at the weekend, winning 1-0 on Sunday night. Montpellier, one of their direct rivals, those Champions League places, with a Michel Bastos goal, and showing a lot of fortitude in the process. Now they've got another big one on Wednesday. They're at home to Auxerre, who are currently second in the table. Now that they've massively overachieved Jean Fernandez's side, so you could argue there's not a great deal of pressure for them. But it's interesting, not just can Lyon bring their Champions League fate back in their own hands by beating Auxerre, but they can knock the Bourgeois out of the running for the title. If they were to beat Auxerre and Marseille were to win at Rennes, then the title would be sealed there on Wednesday night. Also important to bear in mind, Bordeaux bringing up the rear behind Lyon, trying to catch up. They've got an away game at Nice. They were back on form. Bordeaux with a win by Mikel Siani goal at the weekend against Toulouse. So hopefully a bit of improvement for them. Anyway, lots of exciting stuff to happen before we see you next week. Of course, the climax of the German season, the Portuguese season, the English Premier League season. So I hope you enjoy all of that. If you've got any questions, please tweet me, leave something under this article. Have fun in watching all the football, and we'll see you again next week.